Welcome back to the CAT series with Careers 360. 30 days. 30 days to CAT. What should you be doing? What should you be doing that you have not already done? Is it really possible that given that you have only 30 days, you can resurrect the entire, so to say, campaign for your CAT? My answer to that question is a very resounding yes. I don't know whether you can get a 99.9 percentile. I don't know whether you'll get a 95 percentile or a 90 percentile or whatever that may be. I really don't even know what your aim is. Not everybody aims for, let's say, an IIM Ahmedabad or a Calcutta for that matter. But these 30 days, if you utilize them very, very well, I am telling you, you would improve your scores from wherever they are by nothing less than 30 marks, if not more. In fact, there is a good chance that you can increase these marks by 40-45 marks from wherever you are. Let's say you are getting at only 40-45 marks. That means your percentile will be 50-60 percentile, 70 percentile. From there, you can straight away go to 90-95 percentile. If you're already getting something like 70 marks, which means you are at that 85 to 90, 92, 93 percentile range, you can go to 100 marks, which means 99.6, 99.7 percentile. And trust me, all that you require to do is a rigor these 30 days. I am not even expecting you to work 12 hours, 10 hours in these 30 days. But what I'm going to ask you is, can you give 6 hours per day? 6 hours per day. Out of these 30 days, I'm going to give you 5 focus areas. The first focus area in these last 30 days would be write at least 5 mocks. 30 days, 5 mocks. I am not counting the last 3-4 days at all. That means you are going to take every mock or write every mock every 5th or the 6th day. But more importantly, you need to analyze too. The second, you have to solve previous CAT papers. How do you solve them is what I'm going to tell you. Hang on. Then, 3 major areas that you have in CAT. How do you improve accuracy for VARC? How do you improve your familiarity index? And I'll tell you what is familiarity index and how you can improve your scores in DILR. And the third one, and the 5th one actually, of course the third section, is how do you maximize your QA scores? New mocks, past CAT papers, and then section by section focus. That's your next 30 days. I'm going to be very drilling down into exactly what you should do. So hear me out very, very closely, very, very clearly, so that you don't miss out on getting that extra 30 marks. First, to write a mock, you will require 2 hours. I expect you to give, on the day of writing a mock, you spend 5 hours. 2 hours for writing the mock and 3 hours for complete analysis. I'll tell you what the analysis is one by one, it is already there. But here is the important thing. If you already know what is the slot that you will be writing your CAT in, try writing your mock in the same slot. If there is a 9 to 11 slot, you write the mock at 9 to 11, full stop. The idea here is, if in the next 30 days, 5 mocks you write, or 6 mocks for that matter, 5 mocks at least, you are familiarizing, habituating yourself to that 2 hours tuned in for the same time as you would be in the actual CAT exam. So each mock, like I said, requires effort writing and 3 hours for analysis. But before that, there is one small thing that I want to talk about. You would have by now hopefully written a lot of mocks. And in each of these sections, whether it is VARC, DILR or QA, you would have had a plan to attempt, a strategy to attempt, a plan to attempt. Decide that strategy and stick to it for the next 5 mocks and actually the CAT exam also. The reason is simple. You are getting into the drill. You don't change it. Once you decide that this is the strategy, sometimes strategy will fail. There's nothing one can do about it, but you need to stick to that strategy. Now look at what should I do. If you're finished 2 hours of writing the mock, 3 hours of analysis, what should you do? First, solve all the mistakes that you have got in the paper. Let's say you attempted 45 questions and you got 15 mistakes or maybe even 20 mistakes. So first, solve all the mistakes that you have got. Mistakes are always because of 2 reasons. One, they are silly mistakes. You made a mistake in reading the question, you made a mistake in calculating, you made a mistake in assuming things which is not there, etc., etc. Silly mistakes. And the second one is conceptual mistakes, where you don't understand the concept but you thought you knew it and you went ahead and solved it and you got it wrong. Solve these mistakes, you will know what mistakes are there, and many a time they are silly mistakes. By solving it second time, you will probably kick your backside off saying that, hey, I should have got more marks than this. But that also kind of gives you confidence that in the same paper you could have got, let's say, another 20-30 marks more. Remember, if you had got let's say 7 mistakes, instead of getting 7 mistakes, you would have got 7 corrects. You're improving your score by 28 marks. Remember, for every 1 extra correct you get, instead of getting a -1, you will get a +3. That's a total increase of 4. So every mistake you do less, that's an improvement of 4 marks. Yes, a theta question may not be giving you a 4 improvement, it will be an improvement of 3, but that's okay. 3 or 4 marks improvement for every question that you do not do a mistake. That's the reason why over the next mock you write, make sure that you redo those mistakes. That's one. The second thing is there are so many unattempted questions. Within these unattempted questions, for some reason or the other, you would have missed them. Missed the sitters, as we call them. Sitters are easy questions but you didn't see in the exam hall. In a quantitative paper, if there are 22, you did not even come to the last 4 questions and all the last 4 are easy, or the last 2 are very, very easy and you have missed it out. Which means there is a problem with the way in which you have attempted. Similarly for VARC also, there could be a question in odd para jumbles, or it could be a question in missing sentences and or a para summary where you would have missed out a very easy sitter. DILR, 5 sets, chances are 1 set you did not even see because you are wasting all your time on the other sets. So such kind of things. Identify. Interesting thing I talked about DILR. You will improve your familiarity index. If you are able to improve this familiarity index, if you are able to improve the ability to identify a new easy question, you are going to get many more marks. Same thing for VA, same thing for RC, same thing for DILR, same thing for quantitative ability. Having done this, please redo all the DILR sets and RC sets and DILR sets. If you can't solve them, let's say you have tried them in the actual exam, you didn't get them. Outside the exam, you are trying to solve them. If you're not getting them, at least see the solution. Ideally, after seeing the solution, put the solution aside and then again solve it. Ideally. If you don't have enough time, no problems. I tell 5 hours a day, 6 hours you make it, you will easily be able to do that. And lastly, specifically in QA, solve those areas which are your strength areas. Let's say your strength area is arithmetic. Arithmetic has 9 to 11 questions in every mock, every CAT actually. Solve all these things, even if the same questions you have solved in the actual mock. maybe you would have got them right also. Why? Once again, familiarity should go up. So mock, writing a mock, analyzing a mock, and the way I have said it, do it diligently, my friends. This itself will improve your scores by at least 10 to 15 marks, if not more. Then comes the second thing, CAT previous year's papers. Here is what I am expecting. I want you to spend 3 hours per day only for this. 3 hours per day for the CAT previous papers. But I don't want you to say, I don't want you to take this as an exam. I don't want you to take this as a 2-hour exam at all. No, don't do it. From 2020 to 2024, 5 years, you have 5 into 3, 15 original CAT papers available. In these 15 original CAT papers, there are 60 RC sets, 60 DILR sets, and 330 quantitative ability questions. Q is 300 plus. I will say you need to categorize them for as per RCs, DILRs and QAs. How do you do RCs? RCs could be economy, business and economy, philosophy, psychology, those anthropology, literature, etc. kind of things, or sciences. So arts, humanity, sciences, business and economy. Typically, when you look at your reading comprehension passage, these are the 3 areas you will get it in. Similarly, when you look at DILR, in the one of the videos that I've taken only on DILR, please go back and check on the YouTube videos that we have already uploaded in Careers 360, how to ace DILR, one of the sessions I have taken. In that, I have given you the categorization. Within DI, you know, there are tables, there are bar charts, pie charts, spider missing tables, average questions, various kinds of DI sets. Similarly, when you look at logical reasoning, there are arrangements, there are selection, there are distribution, there are networks and roots, or ordering, games and tournaments for that matter, cubes, set theory, various kinds of areas. So you will have to categorize. Now please understand, there are 60 DILR sets from the previous CAT papers. If you divide them into, let's say, 10-12 types of sets, each set would be each type of question or each type of DI or LR, there will be 4 to 5 types of sets available, 4 to 5 sets of questions available to you. That's what I want you to do. Once you do that, your job is daily do 3 to 4 sets. For RC, same 3 to 4 sets for DI, which means 1 hour it will take you. 1 hour max. 1 hour for RC, 1 hour for DI. Maybe you can also pick up VA, some of them. And in QA, if you look at it, out of the 330 odd questions, there will be 150 arithmetic questions at least. Per day, if you do 15 questions, that's 10 days. In algebra, there could be easily 120 questions. Per day, you do 15 questions, that is 120 questions can be done in 8 days. And similarly, other areas, 50 questions, 1 day, 15, you can do that in 3 to 4 days. Together, 21 days. Now, look at what I am trying to explain to you. In the next 30 days, 5 to 6 days will be going in actually writing the mock. Let's take 5. 20 to 21 days for this exercise. Let's take it 21 days. 21 days for this exercise plus 5 days for mocks, that is 26 days. I am telling you 30 days are there. Last 2-3 days anyway you will not be able to do too much. It's about revision and getting your mental activity right, mental peace right, mental concentration right, etc. kind of things. But this is all that you need to do. This is 1 hour per day per area. DILR 1 hour, quantitative 1 hour, 15 questions only I want you to do. Please understand why I am asking you to do 15 questions. How do you do this 15 questions also I'll explain to you when I talk about QA. 15 questions in arithmetic continuously so that your confidence levels in that area goes up, not random questions. Same thing, sets in DI will help you to improve your familiarity index. Once you have understood that, okay, you have to write mocks and CAT papers, then one more thing that you know, remember, all the days on which you are writing mock, you are going to spend 5 to 6 hours. All the other days you still have 6 hours, of which 3 hours has to go into the previous CAT papers. What would you do in the other 3? Now that is what I'm going to talk about, the 3rd, 4th, 5th focus points, starting with VARC. VARC Accuracy Improvement Plan. This is 1 hour every day. What do? From the previous CAT mocks, not the original papers. Original papers are anyway solving it, right? But from the mocks that you have already solved or from new questions, solve 5 para summary questions, 5 missing sentence questions, 5 parajumble or parajumbles questions. That's all. Then I want you to solve RCs. Now here when I am asking you to solve RCs, don't solve questions, all the questions. Pick up RC passages and solve 2 types of questions. Question type 1. What is the main idea of the passage? What is the author finally saying? What is it? Why is this damn passage is there in that first place at all? Why is that important is because if you can understand when you read a 2.5, see, please understand, your RC passage will not be more than 500 words. 500 words at a reading speed of, let's say, 200 words per minute, it's 2.5 minutes. In 2.5 minutes, all I'm expecting you to do is to do those questions in those RCs which have main idea of the passage asked or tone of the passage asked, because you need to understand the tone. Because if these 2 questions you can ask, if this you can do it, that's about 20 minutes, 30 minutes you take max, your improvement in RCs will go up significantly. One last thing before I go to DILR. These questions do not directly come in CAT. Critical reasoning. Questions on what is the assumption of the author, what makes it a weak argument, what makes it a strengthened argument, what is a flaw in an argument, such kind of questions, critical reasoning. Typically you get it in GMAT. If you can, for the next 30 days, or actually only 20 days I'm asking you to do, because the other 5 days you are anyway solving your actual CAT papers. In the next 20-21 days, do 5 questions of critical reasoning from any of the GMAT books, online material, wherever. 100 questions. Of these 100 questions, you will do 20-25 assumptions, 20-25 strengthenings, 20-25 weakening of the arguments, and 20-25 of flaw in the arguments kind of things. This will really get you into the drill of understanding, and take my word, your accuracy of VARC will improve significantly. Then, DI familiarity index. Now here is what I'm saying. Familiarity is important. See, if there are 5 sets in a DI paper, which is what most probably it will be in this year's paper, 5 sets of which 2 sets will be 5 questions each and 3 sets will be 4 questions each, you have to find out which 3 sets to solve. How on earth will you know? There is nothing given anywhere that there is an easy set or a difficult set. How will you decide that? How will you decide it is by improving your familiarity. I already told you, you will identify the DI and LR sets according to arrangements, distribution, network, selection, games and tournaments, missing data, etc., which you have done it already for the previous CAT papers. Exactly the same thing I want you to do from previous mocks. Remember, I already told you 4 sets you do it from the CAT papers. Do 4 more sets of the same type from previous mocks that you have done, already done. In other words, let's look at it very, very carefully. Let's say arrangements. You have done 4 sets of arrangements on a day from the CAT original papers and 4 more sets of arrangements from the previous CAT papers. 8 sets in 2 hours. Remember, 1 hour for CAT, 1 hour for this. 2 full hours, 8 sets, 15 minutes each that you're giving. That's it. Not more than that. After doing this, very interestingly, if you find in the actual exam an arrangement set, it's very likely, my friends, it's very, very likely, my friends, that you will be able to not only identify it, be very familiar to it, and more importantly, you will be able to crack it also. Now think about it. We have 20 days to go, apart from the actual CAT paper. So 20 different areas. There are not 20 different types of sets anyway. There are only 10, 12 types of sets. That means you are doing, let's say, take just arrangements, about 16 sets you are going to solve. 8 on one day and 8 after another 10 days. Similarly, distribution, 8 on one day and 8 another after 10 days. Games and tournaments, 10 on one day, 8 on one day and 8 on another 10 days later. Or set theory for that matter. Or 4 set theory, 5 set theory, 3 set theory. You would have done, 8 on one day and another 8. 16 sets each in very focused manner, the areas which come in DI and LR. By the day you go to the CAT exam, I can guarantee you now, if you do this very diligently, you will be cracking the paper out of shape. You will be doing not 1, 2, but you will be actually doing 3 sets even. Make sure. That means the whole idea is either do 16 sets or even doing 8 sets twice. Making sure that your familiarity goes up will hugely improve your way of attempting in the actual CAT paper. And the last one, when it comes to quantitative maximization plan, that is 1 hour. Remember, 1 hour you are spending for 15 questions in arithmetic, or 15 questions in algebra, or 15 questions in some other areas. Let's look at the list of formulae that you can make first. Ideally, for a Q on the day 1 of your 30 days, make all the formulas for all the areas. Look at 7 arithmetic topics that are there. Linear equations, ratio proportion variation, percentages and profit and loss, averages mixtures allegation, simple interest compound interest, time and work, time, speed and distance. Or if you look at algebra, quadratic equations, progressions, indices, logs, functions, inequalities and modulus. Modern maths will have permutations and combinations and set theory. Geometry, numbers. You're not talking about more than 16, 17, 18 sets. You have 21 days. Remember this? You can easily do 30 sets, 30 questions in each day on the same topic. 15 from the actual CAT papers and 15 more from your previous mocks. Categorize and solve. Don't solve randomly. Don't ever solve things randomly now that you have only 30 days to go. Focus. For example, time, speed and distance. On a day you do 30 questions of time, speed and distance. 15 from the previous CAT papers and 15 from the previous mocks that you yourself have taken from the quantitative section. 30 questions will cover every kind of an area, every kind of a formula, every kind of a concept which may come in your actual CAT exam. Last few days, maybe you want to revise the formula again. Formulas are important because you might keep forgetting, because there are quite a lot of them, especially when it comes to geometry, for example. Lines and angles, you have triangles, you have quadrilaterals, you have polygons, you have circles. Then in mensuration, when you talk about it, you have areas and volumes. There are quite a lot of them. You will easily forget. So make sure that you don't forget them. So a little bit of a revision of the formulas will hugely help. These 30 days are critical. Whatever else you might have done till now, whatever number of mocks that you have done till now, how much ever effort you would have put in till now, whatever scores you would have got till now, whatever percentiles you would have got till now, whether you have written CAT last year or the year before last or never, the last 30 days are going to be absolutely critical. And take my word, guys, if you can give your best 6 hours per day for 27, 26 days among these 30 days, you can improve by not just 30 marks. I'm telling you, I'm being conservative. You can improve by 40, 45 marks from the day you start this drill, this grill. I hope you will take the best out of it. And at Careers 360, we keep giving you this full mocks, past 10 years papers. Make sure that you pick them up and make the most out of it. Wish you all the very best for CAT. Thank you.